Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you very much for your kind association. And we are going to begin module number 2 today. I hope that reading Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, thinking about Śrīmad Bhāgavatam and writing the exams is helping you absorb your consciousness in Śrīmad Bhāgavatam and in Krishna, and helping you in your spiritual life. Bhagavat Shravan is one of the limbs of Bhakti. Specifically, it is one of the 5 limbs of Bhakti. Bhagavat Shravan. So I hope it is helping all of you. Also, sorry, there was some kachra on the screen, so I had to clean. Also, by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, we plan to go to Vraj next week. So we are leaving on Monday for Shri Vrindavan Dham, and we will be reaching India on Tuesday. So I don't think I will be able to take the class on Tuesday next week. So can we have it on Wednesday and Thursday instead of Tuesday and Thursday? We'll do it Wednesday and Thursday. Also, I need to figure out about the internet connection in Vrindavan. I am hoping that it will be good and I will be able to conduct the Bhakti Vaibhava sessions. If not, then I will communicate with all of you accordingly. I have received your answer sheets, and today on the WhatsApp group, I don't know how to make an Excel sheet. I'm technologically challenged, so I made it with my hands. So you can just print it and keep it, and just as I email you back your scores, you just enter it and keep it. In the end, you can give it to me. So,
want to maintain?
Okay, let me mute everyone.
Prabhuji, if you want, I can make an Excel sheet.
Oh, sorry, Ajay, you were saying something.
No, Prabhuji, I was stating that if you want, I can maintain the same things in the Excel format. If you want, and maintain it for everybody at a central location. If otherwise, if you want, I can do that.
Whatever all of you decide, आप लोग decide कीजिए.
Okay.
I'm fine with whatever. It's easy to just print it and maintain your record, because then I don't want to put the scores public. So, because some devotees may not be comfortable. So, like,
got it, bro. Sure.
So just keep it like that. And also, I would like to welcome feedback, because I'm also doing this for the first time, and this first module was a work in progress for me also. I was doing it for the first time. I'm used to speaking Harikatha, but I have never done teaching. And Gaurang Darshan Prabhu had told me that preaching and teaching are 2 different things. He said to speak Harikatha is very easy. You can, preaching, prachar is easy. But to teach Shastra, it's a different skill set. So I don't know how I'm doing. So if there is any constructive feedback, not positive feedback, but if there is a negative constructive feedback, then please let me know on WhatsApp or email. Only negative feedback. How I can improve, please let me know. I would really welcome it, because many times I don't realize what I'm doing, and if I hear feedback, then I can improve. I want to serve all of you, and this is my humble way of trying to serve all of you. So, Prabhu ka hai Vaishnav Seva Naam Sankirtan. Dui kara Shri Pave Shri Krishna Charan. So I want to serve and please all of you. So if anything that I'm doing is not pleasing you, I can do it better, serve you better, please let me know. So with that, let us do Shri Ganeshaya Namaha of the 10th chapter of the first canto of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. But before that, we have new sets of verses to memorize. So let me share my screen. I hope all of you can see the screen. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Uddama Bhava Pishuna Malaval Guhasa Vridavaloka Nihato Madano Piyasam Sammuya Chapam Ajahat Pramadottamasta Yasendriyam Vimathitum Kuhakarna Shekuhu. Although the queen's beautiful smiles and furtive glances were all spotless and exciting, and although they could conquer Cupid himself, by making Cupid give up his bow in frustration, and although even the tolerant Lord Shiva could fall victim to them, still, despite all their magical feats and attractions, they could not agitate the senses of Lord Krishna. Suta Goswami says this to the sages of Naimisharanya. Bhavadvidha Bhagavata Stirtha Bhuta Swayam Vibho Tirthi Kurvanti Tirthani Swantah Sthena Gadabhrita. Maharaj Yudhishthir is addressing Shri Vidurji. My Lord, devotees like your good self are verily holy places personified, because you carry the personality of Godhead Krishna within your heart. Swantha Stena Gadabhrita. What you do is you turn all places into places of pilgrimage. Tirthi Kurvanti Tirthani. Tulayama lavenapi na swargam na punarbhavam bhagavat sangi sangasya martyanam kim utashishaha. The value of a moment's association with the devotee of Lord Krishna cannot even be compared to the attainment of heavenly planets, na swargam, or liberation, na apunar bhavam. And what to speak of worldly benedictions in the form of material prosperity, which are for those who are meant for death. This is the power of Bhagavad Sangi Sangasya, the power of association of a pure devotee. Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Shastra ka hai, Lavamatra Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhi hai. Tiraskrita Vipralabdha Shapta Shipta Hata Api Nasyatat Pratikurvanti Tad Bhakta Prabhavopihi. The devotees of Lord Krishna are so forbearing, so tolerant, that even though they are defamed, cheated, cursed, disturbed, neglected, hata api, or even killed, they are never inclined to avenge themselves. They are never inclined to take revenge. Srila Shamik Rishi says this to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Punascha bhuyad bhagavat Nityanante Rati Prasangascha Tad Ashrayeshu Mahat Suyamyam Upayami Shrishtim Maitrastu Sarvatra Namo Dvijebhya. Again, offering obeisances unto all you Brahmanas, I pray that if I should again take my birth in the material world, I will have complete attachment to the unlimited Lord Krishna. I will have association with his devotees, and I will have friendly relations with all living beings. This is the profound, sweet, heartfelt prayer of Maharaj Parikshit to all the assembled sadhus. Complete attachment to Krishna, Bhagavat Anante Ratihi, association of his devotees, Prasangas Chatad Ashrayeshu, having association of the Sharanagat Bhaktas, and having friendly relations with all living beings. Maitri Astu Sarvatra. What a beautiful prayer. So that's it. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, dear devotees, I know some of you who watch the recording find it distracting to be on the gallery mode, but please bear with me. I like to be on the gallery mode so I can see your effulgent faces.
Oh, we can see whatever view we want. It's not forced on the viewers. So whatever view you choose will be yours. We can choose our own. So
okay, very good, very good. Thank you, thank you. So let us do Shri Ganeshaya Namaha of chapter 10 of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, first canto. Shri Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Om Ajnanatirmirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamhayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajata Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhakti Vedanta Swami iti namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadādhara Śrīvāsa Ādi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. the 10th chapter of the first canto of Grantharaj Śrīmad Bhāgavatam is entitled Departure of Lord Krishna for Dwarka. So just a quick recap. The previous chapter, chapter 9, is entitled The Passing Away of Shri Bhishma Dev. Bhishma Dev went back to Vaikuntha. Yudhishthir Maharaj's lamentation and doubts were cleared. He accepted the throne of Hastinapur. Krishna stayed with the Pandavas for some time. And now it was concluded in verse number 49. After this, the great religious king Maharaj Yudhishthir executed the royal power in the kingdom strictly according to the codes and royal principles approved by his uncle Dhritarashtra and confirmed by Lord Shri Krishna. Maharaj Yudhishthir was really very well behaved. Even though Maharaj Dhritarashtra had been so unfair, so atrocious towards Maharaj Yudhishthir and his family, still Maharaj Yudhishthir treated him with great deference, great reverence and respect. And he ruled strictly according to principles taught to him by Bhishma Dev and approved by Lord Krishna. That's where chapter 9 ends. So after Shri Suta Goswami says this, Shaunak Rishi, who is the leader and the representative of all the thousands of sages who have assembled at Naimisharanya, he asks, text 1, Shaunaka Uvacha Atva Swariktha Sprida Atataino Yudhishthiro Dharma Bhritam Varishtha Sahanujay Pratyavaruddha Bhojanaha Katham Pravrittha Kim Akarashitataha. All translations and purports are by our most revered, beloved founder Acharya, Nitya Lila Pravishtha, Om Vishnupad Paramhamsa Parivrajaka Ashtottara Shata Shri Śrīmad Abhay Charana Ravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Shri Shaunaka Muni asked Srila Suta Goswami, after killing his enemies who desired to usurp his rightful inheritance, how did the greatest of all religious men, Maharaj Yudhishthir, Yudhishthiro Dharma Bhritam Varishtha, how did the greatest of all religious men, Maharaj Yudhishthir, and assisted by his brothers, Sahanujaya Pratyavaruddha Bhojanaha, assisted by his brothers, how did he rule his subjects? Katham Pravritta Kim Akarashit Tatha. How did he rule his kingdom? Surely Maharaj Yudhishthir could not freely enjoy his kingdom with unrestricted consciousness, because he is Dharma Bhritam. It strictly follows Dharma. Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. If our Artha, our economic development, and our Kam, our sense gratification, is within the boundaries of religion, Dharma, then Moksha is guaranteed. Mukti is guaranteed. So Shaunak Rishi asks, after all the enemies were killed, and who were these enemies? These were enemies who wanted to illegally usurp, snatch away the rightful kingdom of Maharaj Yudhishthir. How did he rule the kingdom? Assisted by his 4 brothers. This was the question. Because in the previous verse, what was said? End of 9th chapter, what was said? that Yudhishthira Maharaj ruled according to principles of dharma approved by Lord Krishna. Very nice statement. But see how inquisitive the sages are. They want to know more details. Tell us how he ruled. Because it's a good lesson for all of us. When we hear about the charitra, the characteristics of advanced devotees like Maharaj Yudhishthira, it gives great inspiration to us. That's why we read books about the biography of our Gaudiya Vaishnava Acharyas. That's why we read Prabhupada Leelamrit. We read about books describing the glories of Srila Prabhupada's disciples. We read Bhaktamal. Why? Because it gives inspiration when we read about these devotees. Purport. Maharaj Yudhishthir was the greatest of all men of religion. Yudhishthiro Dharma Bhritam Varishtha. He was a very great Rajarshi, Maharaj Yudhishthir. Very great king. Thus, he was not at all inclined to fight with his cousins for the sake of enjoying the kingdom. In this material world, people fight. Why do two brothers go to court and fight over inheritance and property? Why? Little bit more money I want. No, this belongs to me, that belongs to me. Why? Because money is honey. With money, I can enjoy. With property, I can enjoy. It's all about sense gratification, my dear friends. All about sense gratification. Money is honey, my dear Sunny. The rich man's joke is always funny. That's the popular saying. But Maharaj Yudhishthira was not like that. He was not a dollar and cents man. He did not fight the war just for the sake of sense gratification. It was a dharma yuddha. Dharma kshetre, kurukshetre. So further down in the purport, Srila Prabhupada writes, Maharaj Yudhishthira fought therefore for the right cause. In the verse it is said that Hatva Swariktha Spridha Atatayino, that he killed all these Atatais, all these aggressors. They wanted to illegally take away Yudhishthira Maharaj's property. So Srila Prabhupada writes, Yudhishthira Maharaj fought therefore for the right cause under the guidance of Lord Krishna. Yudhishthira Maharaj was justified in this great war because it was the war authorized by Lord Krishna. Whatever we do, we should do it under the authority of Krishna. Nowadays, it is very unfortunate that the pracharaks, the preachers of ISKCON, are being attacked by certain people in India, certain leaders, so-called leaders, certain fanatic elements, certain misdirected men. They are coming out with YouTube channels, publicly accusing, attacking sadhus. Very unfortunate situation. One of their allegation is, हमें ISKCON के philosophy से कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, तुम सिर्फ प्रचार बंद कर दो. प्रचार क्यों करते हो? अपनी philosophy दूसरों पर क्यों लादते हो? Why are you preaching? Just keep it to yourself, na? We have no problem with your philosophy, but don't preach. Nowhere in our Hindu dharma it is said that one should preach. Fools. Murkha. These are fools who say like this. Lord Krishna is saying that one who shares the message of Bhagavad Gita with those who are dharmic, those who are interested, those who are austere, no one is dearer to me than such a person. Shripad Narad Muni is a Mahajan. Our way is Mahajano and a Gatha Sapanta. Is Narad Muni, Shripad Narad Muni not preaching? All activities of Shripad Narad Muni are simply preaching only. You can look throughout Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. Whether it is the sons of Prajapati Daksha, whether it is Maharaj Prachini Barhi, whether it is Dhruva Maharaj, whether it is Ratnakar, the hunter who later became Adi Kavi Shri Valmiki Muni. Shripad Narad Muni is simply preaching all the time. He's preaching. He preached to Kayadu, he preached to Prahlad Maharaj. He is a preacher, pracharak. And forget all this. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has said, Prithivite yateacha nagaradigram sarvatra prachar hoibe morana. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, preach, and these rascals are saying, don't preach. Who should we listen to? Jare dekho tare kaho Krishna upadesh, amar agya guru ya tara hi desh. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wants the mercy of the holy name to spread everywhere. Let everyone benefit. Why should we keep it to ourselves? How selfish is that? But these people are saying, don't preach. So we do not care for the opinions of Vidharmis. Maharaj Yudhishthir was always acting under the guidance of Lord Krishna. Our life should be guided by Lord Krishna, by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, by the Mahajans like Shripad Narad Muni, by our Acharyas like the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan, and by our founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur wanted preaching. He's sending his books in 1896 to Canada and England. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur is the answer to the prayers of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, Eka ki amar nahi paya bala harinama sankirtane. Oh Mahaprabhu, I cannot push forward this Harinam Sankirtan movement by myself. Ekaki, alone I cannot do. Nahi paya bala. Send me a ray of Vishnu. Send me your Parshads. And Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur came. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada gave all his life for prachar. And so did the followers of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And among the preachers, the foremost is our founder Acharya, Shri Śrīmad Abhay Charana Arvinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada, who traveled to the west, east, west, everywhere, and preached the message of Mahaprabhu. Gauravani Pracharine, Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. So this is our line. So we should not get confused. We should not get discouraged by such false propaganda and accusations. Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. Maharaj Yudhishthira was always guided by Lord Krishna. He therefore ruled over the kingdom as a matter of duty, assisted by his younger brothers. The enquiry was important for Shaunak Rishi, who wanted to know about the behavior of Maharaj Yudhishthira when he was at ease to enjoy the kingdom. What we do when we are alone defines us. When we are, His Grace Radhesham Prabhu was saying, when we are behind closed doors, it brings out the worst in us. Hare Krishna. We succumb to temptations. We get distracted, diverted away from bhakti when we are alone. When we are in front of devotees, it brings out the best. But what we do when we are alone, that is what defines us. So it's very important. Also, what we do when things are going our way, when things are quite comfortable and peaceful, that is also very important. His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj would say, the more you sweat in peace, the more you sweat, parishram, the more you sweat in peace, the less you bleed in war. We are spiritual warriors, he would say, Srila Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj. We have to fight against Maya. We have to fight against the Vidharmis. We have to fight against irreligion. We are spiritual warriors. And the more we sweat in peace, the less we bleed in war. During peace time, if we strengthen ourselves, if we practice how to use our arms and ammunition, when there is a war, we will bleed less. But if we are complacent and we are sleeping, when there is peace, because everything is peaceful, no need to build weapons, manufacture ammunition, no need to practice, no need to prepare, no need to strengthen the army. अभी तो सब ठीक चल रहा है. When the trials and tribulations come, when Maya attacks, we will bleed to death. We will be finished if we don't prepare. Therefore, when we have time at our hands, when our body is working, we should take complete shelter of Krishna. Krishna tvadiya pada pankaja panjarantam advaivame vishatu manasa rajahamsa prana prayana samay kafavata pitta kantavarodhana vidau smaranam kutaste. So what we do in leisure is most important. Verse number 2. When Sri Suta Goswami was asked this question, how did Maharaj Yudhishthira rule? He replies, text 2. Vamsham kuror vamshadavagni nirhitam samrohayitva bhavabhavano harihi niveshayitva nijarajya ishvaro Yudhishtiram Pritamana Babhuvaha. Sri Suta Goswami said, Lord Shri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the maintainer of the world, became pleased after re-establishing Maharaj Yudhishthir in his own kingdom. And after restoring the Kuru dynasty, which had been exhausted by the bamboo fire of anger. Lord Krishna was very pleased to re-establish the Kuru dynasty, restore it, because it was heavily damaged by the fighting that took place within the family. And Krishna was very pleased when Maharaj Yudhishthir was established on the throne very nicely. Purport. This world is compared to a forest fire. Please raise your hand if you can tell which verse this is. Every day we begin our day. This is the first thing we chant in the morning, every day. Swati Mataji.
Samsara dhava nalilita loka tranaya karunya ghana ghana tvam praptasya kalyana gunana vasya vande guru Shri Charanara Vrindam.
Yes, unless and until we understand that we are in the forest fire, we will never turn towards Krishna. What did Krishna's friends do when there was Davagni in the 10th canto? They turned to Krishna. Oh Krishna, please save us. So unless and until we realize that we are in this material world, which is like a forest fire, we will never feelingly turn towards Krishna. The world is compared to a forest fire, caused by the rubbing of the bamboo bushes. Srila Prabhupada writes, and this is coming from the commentary of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. I have the Sarartha Darshani Tika here by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. And many things that Srila Chakravarti Pad writes, Srila Prabhupada has included in the purports. I am observing what Srila Prabhupada sometimes doesn't include in the purport are the grammatical commentaries of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. When Srila Chakravarti Pad, he writes something about Sanskrit in the verse, that this is like this is this type of usage, this vibhakti, that Srila Prabhupada has omitted because it's not relevant to most of us. But otherwise, all the important tattva, all the sweetness, rasa, Srila Prabhupada has incorporated in his purports. So this comes from Chakravarti Pad, that such a forest fire takes place automatically. For bamboo, cohesion occurs without external cause. Similarly, in the material world, the wrath, the anger of those who want to lord it over material nature interacts, and the fire of war takes place, exhausting the population. So we have seen this. If you analyze the history of the world, it is one war after the other. There is never peace. In the beginning of the 20th century, there was a World War I. It hardly got over, and there was World War II within few years. And then all the world leaders were saying, okay, World War I was a big fiasco, but this World War II will definitely solve all the problems, and it will be the war that ends all wars. World War II was advertised like that, the war that will end all wars. There will be world peace after World War II. Such an illusion, isn't it? After World War II, there was the Cold War. There was the Vietnam War. There was the Afghan War. There was the Arab Spring. So many civil wars in Africa, here, there, in the Middle East, India-Pakistan war, India-China war, Palestine and Israel war, and so many wars here and there. And there are so many terrorist attacks. I remember in 2015, when Srila Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj came to Atlanta, he made a very wonderful observation. I still remember. Maharaj said in the 20th century, the greatest problem in the world was communism. Communism. And in the 21st century, this century, the greatest problem will be religious fanaticism. And we see there are so many terrorist attacks and religious wars being fought in the world today. So it is very sad. All the time, some war or the other is going on. If the countries are not fighting, then there are smaller rebel groups like the Maoists, so many terrorist organizations. They're always fighting and attacking. Always there is unrest. We had the 9/11 in US. It just keeps going on and on and on. Always there will be unrest in this world. This is compared to the bamboo friction. Without we wanting it, it just happens. Even in California, we see every year in the summer season, there are so many forest fires. Not that someone is going and setting fire in the forest. Sometimes that is the case. Some people who go hiking and camping, they are a little careless and they don't put out their bonfires and it just spreads. But generally, it is either some lightning strike that happens, which sets ablaze the dry wood and straw in the forest, or it is friction between the bamboo sticks that happens. And there is a war, there is a fire which is compared to the unrest and wars in this world. Upadhruta. We are always disturbed in this Kali Yuga. Srila Prabhupada writes, such fires or wars take place and the Lord has nothing to do with them. Please listen carefully. Our Vedas teach us, avashyameva bhoktavyam karma krita shubhashubham. Karma krita shubhashubham. Whatever shubh ashubh karma we have performed, avashyameva bhoktavyam. We have to pay the price. We have to pay the price. We may like it, we may not like it. And we have to pay the price individually and collectively. We cannot say, Arey, I am not eating meat. Why I should suffer? We have to suffer. Because we are drinking water that is given to us by meat eaters. We are driving our cars on the roads that are built by meat eaters. We live in a house that has been built by meat eaters. We are buying grocery from a shop that is selling meat. We are also implicated. In this world, we cannot live without committing sins. In London temple, in UK temple, I don't know which temple it is. Balramji's club, the Gada of Balramji, was stolen. Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra deities. Balramji's Gada was stolen. So they spent money, Prabhupada spent money and got another Gada, again made of silver. Within few days, that was also stolen. Now that's a lot of money. So the head pujari of the temple told Srila Prabhupada that Srila Prabhupada, the Balramji's silver Gada is again stolen. So Srila Prabhupada was upset. Srila Prabhupada said, whoever is stealing Krishna's property, it's a very big offense, it's very sinful, and that person will have to suffer severe consequences. And then Srila Prabhupada looked at the head pujari. Please listen carefully. Srila Prabhupada looked at the head pujari and said, 50% sins you will have to suffer. The head pujari said, why me, Prabhupada? Prabhupada said, because the theft happened on your watch. As a head pujari, it is your responsibility that all the paraphernalia of Krishna Balram is secured. It is taken care of. So it is your negligence also, and therefore you are also responsible. Srila Prabhupada is our Acharya. He is teaching us very important lessons. Once a devotee asked my Guru Maharaj, Srila Radhanath Swami Maharaj, that why so much war, terrorist attacks, suffering, pandemics, diseases are happening. My Guru Maharaj said, as long as two activities are going on in this world will not have any peace. It is impossible to have peace in this world. And the two things are animal slaughter and abortions. As long as there are abortions going on and there is meat eating, animal slaughter, this world will know no peace. There will be no peace in this world. Individually, we have to pay the price, but we have to pay a collective price also because we are all connected. When husband and wife, when they are together in marriage, if one of the spouse has some problem in their patrika, in their astrological chart, and there is some sadesati or something, or some graha, I don't understand the technical language, but if there is some disturbance in the horoscope and there is some prarabdha karma that is going to affect the spouse, the other spouse also suffers now. If one spouse gets some disease, who is going to take care? The other spouse has to take care. So we are all connected. We are all in one boat in this material existence. If there is water coming from one side of the boat, everybody has to panic because we are all connected. We are all living, we are sharing the same planet. So in this world, it's a very dangerous situation. Therefore, in conclusion, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada said, this material world is just not a place for a sadhu. It's not a place for a gentleman. Krishna has nothing to do with this. It is our own karma. Avashyameva bhoktavyam karma krita shubhasham. It is our karma. Krishna has nothing to do. Name karmani limpanti, name karma phalaspraha. Krishna has nothing to do with all this. We are suffering because of our own sins. The Lord wants the suffering human beings to come back home, back to Him, so that there is cessation, there is complete end to our suffering. Krishna wants to end our suffering, Srila Prabhupada writes. The whole plan, please read with me, the whole plan of creation is made in that way. And one who does not come to his senses suffers in the material world. Maya, they will inflict so many sufferings on us. So Srila Prabhupada says something very brilliant here. The whole plan of creation is made in that way. In what way? The Lord wants to stop the suffering of the human beings. So this world is meant not to make us suffer. This world is meant to end our suffering by giving us suffering. Because if we are given suffering, then we will question, oh my God, this world is a horrible place. How can I get out of here? But if we are kept comfortably, then we will never want to leave. So in this material world, Maya Devi with her Trishul, Ādi Devik, Adhyatmik, Ādi Bhautik, she punishes us for our own karma. And this punishment is supposed to Athato Brahma Jigyasa. Abhi, how can I get out of this place is not good. I don't want to be here. How can I get out? An intelligent person will ask like that. Prabhupada says the whole plan of creation is made in that way. But one who does not understand, Prabhupada says, one who does not come to his senses continues to suffer. Okay, so Krishna has made this world, designed this world in such a way that we will be frustrated here. And out of frustration, we will turn towards Krishna. Arti is the first person who turns to Krishna, one who is suffering. So how do we attain Krishna? Prabhupada writes, Lord Krishna therefore wants his bona fide representatives to rule the world. Why Krishna wants Yudhishthira Maharaj on the throne? Because Yudhishthira Maharaj will connect people to Krishna. See, when he performed the Rajasuya Yajna, who got the Agra Puja? Krishna. Who was glorified? Krishna. When Duryodhan performed the Vaishnava Yajna, when the Pandavas were on exile, he did not invite Krishna. He did not glorify Krishna. He probably did Agra Puja of Shakuni Mama. Who knows? But Krishna wants the devotees to be in power, because Krishna knows if the devotee is in power, then Krishna's plan of taking everyone back to Godhead will manifest. Now I'm going to ask all of you a question. Ready? So, here is the question. If everyone takes to Krishna consciousness and everyone goes back home, back to Godhead, Kalir dosha nidhe raja nasti hoika mahan guna kirtana deva Krishna se mukta sangha param rajit. If everybody goes to the spiritual world, then what will happen to this material world? Itna sannata kyun hai bhai? Like this. Sorry, I remembered that dialogue from some movie. So what will happen to this material world if everything goes back home, back to Godhead? So first tell me where which scripture this question is asked, who asked this question and who answers and what is the answer. Okay. So if you know this, then raise your hand. Okay. Devotees are raising their hand and then putting So I don't want a speculative answer. I want which Shastra this question is asked, by whom, and who gives the answer. Come on. Okay, I'll give a hint. Yesterday we spoke about Srila Haridas Thakur, and I wanted to cover this, but we could not reach because I ran out of time. This is from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Untitled Chapter. The chapter entitled Glories of Srila Haridas Thakur. Untitled Chaitanya Charitamrita, Glories of Srila Haridas Thakur. Okay, Amrit Karan Prabhu, go ahead. Hare Krishna.
Actually, Haridas Thakur told Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that when you just do the Harinam, all these things happen, all the living entity actually they deliver. But it's like, again, you see innumerable living entities are there, unlimited. So whoever that time, they deliver.
Yes. Amrit Karan Prabhu. Karanadakshay Vishnu. Unlimited Jivas can come from Karanadakshay Vishnu.
Yeah.
Yes. So very sweet. Mahaprabhu first asks that, okay, Haridas Thakur, so many people have become devotees. Devotees are going back to Godhead. What about the non-devotees? What will happen to the non-devotees? Srila Haridas Thakur said they will also go back to Godhead. How? By Namabhas. When the Jallads, the executioners are beating Haridas Thakur was saying, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. And they were saying, what kind of man is he? He's not feeling any pain. We are beating him and he's saying, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Haridas Thakur went into ecstasy. Oh, look, you also chanted Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Now you will also go back to Godhead. So he says, by Namabhas, even, and then he quotes that when people say Haram, Haram, they are chanting Ram. Dam Sri Dharam Srahatom Lecho, Harameti Punha Punha. Uktopi Muktim Apnoti, Kim Punha Shraddhayan Grana. So even if unknowingly one chants Krishna, Ram, oh, those Hare Krishnas are doing Rath Yatra. Just chant Hare Krishna. So just by Namabhas, they will get liberated. So then Mahaprabhu says, okay, so the non-devotee human beings will get liberation, but what about the animals and the plants and trees? Srila Haridas Thakur says, by the loud chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, when the Hare Krishna Mahamantra sound vibration touches them, the plants, trees, insects, birds, animals, they will also be delivered by loud chanting. Okay? Then Mahaprabhu says, so the non-devotees are going back to Godhead, the trees, animals, insects, birds, they are going back to Godhead. Are Haridas Thakur Mahashay, the whole material world will become empty then. So Srila Haridas Thakur says, no, Mahaprabhu, that will not happen. Because there are unlimited conditioned souls. And from the body of Karanadakshay Vishnu, unlimited Jivas will be filled again in this material world, waiting to be delivered. And this Karuna Leela, Karunya Leela of Bhagwan will continue. the merciful lila of Bhagwan of delivering the conditioned souls. It will continue. And then many examples are given by Srila Haridas Thakur that when Lord Ramachandra wound up his pastimes in Ayodhya, he took all the Ayodhya-vasis with him to Vaikuntha. But Ayodhya was again filled with residents, with Jivas. So Haridas Thakur said, this world will not become empty. There are so many unlimited Jivas who still are waiting to be delivered. So it will continue. So like that. So therefore, Krishna wants his bona fide representative to be in power, to rule the world, so that this Leela of delivering the conditioned souls can be performed nicely. Whereas if Vidharmis, if those who are against the principles of true religion are in power, then everybody will glide to hell. Srila Prabhupada was driving in the car and there was a McDonald's billboard. 1 billion burgers sold, it said. Srila Prabhupada pointed and said, 1 billion people sent to hell. That is a modern civilization. So Lord Shri Krishna descended to establish this sort of regime. What type of regime? Ram Rajya. Yudhishthir Maharaj, Parikshit Maharaj. These are Rajarshis. Krishna wants such devotees to be in power. The Lord was therefore fully satisfied, last sentence, the Lord was therefore fully satisfied when King Yudhishthir was on the throne. And the seedling of the dynasty of Kuru in the person of Maharaj Parikshit was saved. When Krishna sees that the devotees are ruling, the devotees are guiding the conditioned souls on their spiritual journey towards Krishna's lotus feet, Krishna feels great satisfaction. If you read Bhagavad Gita, so many places Krishna is inviting all of us to come back home, back to Godhead. Man mana bhava man bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mam eva shashi. You will come to me. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmara yuddhesha mai arpita manobuddhir mam eva shashi asamshaya. Many times Krishna says, you come, come, come. There are many verses like that. So Krishna wants us to come to Vaikuntha. And he does not want us to suffer in this world. This feeling of paradukha dukhi, seeing the conditioned souls in this world suffering, causing great pain in the heart, is the quality of a Vaishnava. Today I was listening to one lecture of Param Pujya Srila Jayapataka Swami Maharaj. And Srila Jayapataka Swami Maharaj was narrating a very heart-touching incident that took place in Sridham, Mayapur. Srila Prabhupada was in Mayapur, and Srila Jayapataka Swami Maharaj said we were maybe a couple hundred devotees living in Mayapur. And we didn't have money to buy plates and all, so we used to just eat prasad, honor prasadam on banana leaf plates. Mayapur, there are a lot of banana trees. So we used to eat. After we finished eating our khichdi, we used to just fold our banana leaf plate and throw it in a place where we were creating compost. We just throw it there. And there was so much poverty in Bengal that there were local boys and girls, children. They were not getting food, enough food. So they would be waiting for the devotees to eat prasad and then discard their plates in that area. And they would run there and see if there are some scraps of khichdi, maybe some sabji, some halwa, and they would lick those banana leaves, whatever they can get. At the same time, there were many stray dogs, and these dogs also would come to get some scraps of food. So once Srila Prabhupada was inspecting the land, and Srila Prabhupada saw that the devotees have taken prasad, and there is a fight going on between the local boys and the stray dogs. The stray dogs were trying to eat, and the boys were trying to scare them away so they could eat. And they were fighting over remnants of prasad. Srila Jayapataka Swami Maharaj says he actually saw tears in Srila Prabhupada's eyes. And Srila Prabhupada said, this world is full of suffering. Just see, these young boys and girls, they are having to fight with dogs for little bit food. So much suffering is there in this world. Srila Jayapataka Swami Maharaj says, Srila Prabhupada looked at me and said, Maharaj, 10 miles around any ISKCON temple, no one should go without prasad. People are hungry for food. We will not just give them food. we will give them Krishna in the form of food. Please start Krishna Prasad distribution. Srila Jayapataka Swami Maharaj says that was the origin of Food for Life. Initially, Maharaj says it was called ISKCON Food Relief, but then they renamed it as Food for Life. Because Krishna is our life. Krishna Mata, Krishna Pita, Krishna Dhana Pran. Krishna is our pran. And in the form of food, they are giving Krishna. So, food for life. So, it started like that. And now, all over the world, ISKCON temples, they are doing so much food for life. Even in Atlanta here, our temple president, His Grace Vedasar Prabhu, is doing so much food for life. And I've heard that Amoglila Prabhu, for example, in our Delhi temple, 450,000, 450,000 plates of prasadam every day during the pandemic. How many? 450,000 plates of Krishna Prasad every day, free. Food for life. ISKCON has given out, what to speak of McDonald's selling 1 billion hamburgers. ISKCON has given millions and millions of plates of pure Krishna Prasad, which will not only nourish the body, but also soul. We know honoring Krishna Prasad, eating Krishna Prasad is Bhakti Poshak Sukriti. It gives us a type of Sukriti which is going to nourish our Bhakti. Jayavadharma describes it as Bhakti Poshak Sukriti, just to eat Krishna Prasad. And that we are doing through Food for Life. We may not see immediate results, but as the generations go on, we will see the effect of Krishna Prasad in this world. People will have so much Sukriti. So, so devotees are doing so much Food for Life. And we see recently few devotees in Ukraine, they left their body, they lost their life because Russia bombing the place from where they were doing Food for Life. You heard that? Those devotees, 3 devotees, I think they were killed in the Russian bombing in Ukraine. They were engaged in Food for Life. This is what happens when Vidharmis are in power. You see? Yudhishthira Maharaj, Parishit Maharaj being in power versus Vidharmis. When they are in power, devotees, bichare, who are doing selfless service, distributing Krishna Prasad in Ukraine, in a war-torn zone, peaceful devotees, they are bombed and killed. This is what happens when there is Ravan Raj, when there is Duryodhan Raj. Therefore, Krishna likes it when devotees are in power. So we discussed 2 chapters. It's already 9:30. Let me just see if I missed something from Sarartha Darshani Tika. Yeah, one point Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur makes is that in verse number 2, it is said that Lord Krishna became pleased when he saw that Yudhishthir was on the throne. Prita Mana, he was pleased in his mind. Krishna was Prita Mana, he was happy to see Yudhishthir. So here, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur makes a very sweet comment. He says that Yudhishthir saw that Lord Krishna is happy seeing him in power. And therefore, Yudhishthira Maharaj became happy to be the king. Initially, Yudhishthira Maharaj did not want to be the king. But he saw that Krishna becomes happy when I am the king. It's okay. I will take the responsibility of being the king. Chakravarti Pada writes like that. Yudhishthira Maharaj took up the ruling of the country only after seeing that Krishna was pleased by his doing so. This is the heart of a Vaishnava. Vaishnava wants to, Samsiddhir Haritoshanam, always wants to keep Krishna happy. Yesterday I was listening to a lecture by my Guru Maharaj, Srila Radhanath Swami Maharaj, on Shri Radha Kund, trying to prepare my consciousness for visiting Shri Vrajdham. So Maharaj was saying, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is said that, and even in Upadeshamrita, Srila Rupa Goswami says that Radha Kund is as dear to Krishna as Radharani. You remember this? Radha Kund is as dear to Krishna as Radharani. So Maharaj asked a question, why is Radha Kund so dear to Krishna? It is dear to Krishna because Radharani is happiest when she is at Radhakund. So then the question is, why is Radharani happiest when she is at Radhakund? Maharaj explained that Radharani serves Krishna in different places. She goes to Krishna's home every morning, Nanda Bhavan, and cooks breakfast for Krishna. We have heard that pastime many times. And then Dhanishta Gopi brings Krishna's remnants to Radharani. Radharani takes it and then gives it to Lalita Vishaka Sakhi. They take it, they give it to the Manjaris. All that is described in Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's Bhajan, Bhaja Bhakata Vatsala, Shri Gaura Hari, the Bhoga Arti. So morning Radharani goes and cooks for Krishna. Then in the afternoon, after Surya Puja, first before they meet at Kusum Sarovar, then they meet at Radhakund. In the evening, when Krishna returns, again there is a meeting. And then at night, Ras Leela happens every night. But of all these places where Radharani serves Krishna, the most intimate, the sweetest pastimes take place in the afternoon at Radhakund. So Radharani is able to serve Krishna to her fullest satisfaction at Radhakund. So Radharani feels very happy. Why Radharani wants to bring Krishna from Kurukshetra back to Vrindavan? Because she knows that she can serve Krishna the best in Vrindavan and Krishna will be happiest in Vrindavan. So when Krishna sees that Radharani is very happy serving me in Radhakund, so because Krishna sees that Shri Radha is happiest at Radhakund, then Krishna loves Radhakund. When Radharani sees that Krishna is happiest at Radhakund, then Radharani becomes even happier. And she says that Radhakund is very dear to me because here I am able to serve Krishna the best. And then Krishna says, oh, because Radhakund is so dear to Radharani, because Radhakund is so dear to Radha, then Radhakund is very dear to me also. Anyone who takes bath in Radhakund, I will give that person Radharani's love. So this is the spiritual algorithm, how things flow in Vrindavan. Even in Holi, Radharani puts color on Krishna and she feels, oh, Krishna is looking even more beautiful, and she becomes happy. Seeing that Radharani is happy putting color on me, Krishna loves the Holi festival and he puts color on Radharani, and that increases the beauty of Radharani. And since that Radharani is becoming very, very beautiful, more beautiful, then Krishna becomes happy. Seeing that Krishna has become happy on putting color on me, Radharani also likes Holi festival. And she puts more color on Krishna and Krishna puts more color. And they become more and more beautiful and more happier. And it just Anandam Buddhi Vardhanam Prati Padam. Just spiritual bliss keeps increasing in the spiritual world. Because Radharani wants to make Krishna happy. When Krishna is happy, Radha becomes happier. Seeing Radha happier, Krishna becomes happier. Seeing Krishna happier, Radharani becomes... It just keeps going on and on like that in the spiritual world. So similarly here, युधिष्ठिर महाराज को भगवान कृष्ण ने राजा बनाया. उनको राजा बनते हुए देखकर भगवान कृष्ण खुश हो गए. Krishna became happy. Seeing Krishna is happy, Yudhishthira Maharaj is happy. Then okay, I will be a more enthusiastic king because Krishna is happy when I am the king. Seeing Yudhishthira Maharaj function nicely as a king, Krishna is happy. And it just goes on like that. This is spiritual life. Navam. Every moment it is newer and newer, fresher and fresher. Whereas material world, basa. It becomes stale and stale and stale. Kalka newspaper nobody wants to read. On that day, people will give money to buy that newspaper. Sunday Times. बहुत gossip है उसमें. बहुत रसा है. I remember when I was in the boys' hostel during MBBS, morning we used to go to the canteen. And as soon as the newspaper would come, Times of India, Mumbai Mirror, Midday, whatever, we used to fight for it. Hey, I want that third page where all Bollywood gossip is there. All the social celebrities, unka pura gossip रहता है third page पे. We used to fight for the third page. Because crows, I am a crow. Going after decomposed, rotting things. All of you have written in your answers in the module 1. 2 types of literatures, right? I'm reading. I get such a revision, reading so many 40 answer sheets. Same answers. It becomes very solid. It's helping me very much to read all your answers. Very nice answers. Mundane literature and transcendental literature. So like that. But by Prabhupada's mercy, now, and all of your mercy, because you have engaged me in this service, I am also getting to read transcendental literature. Otherwise, I will be running after page 3 of the newspapers. So this is our life. We want to read about Krishna. We want to chant Krishna name. We want to serve the devotees of Krishna. We want to be Krishna conscious. And eternally, we want to serve Radha and Krishna in their very sweet Leela of ever increasing love, ever increasing happiness. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Granthara Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol. Thank you very much, Hare Krishna. If there are any questions, we can take a few. Ajay Govind Prabhu, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Prabhuji, you were telling that in this word, we do get the reactions and the sins because of the community, because the collective sins and other people are doing activities till the time we are using the roads, we are driving the vehicles which are being served or built by the meat eaters and all. And on the other hand, we are following the devotional service with an aim or objective of going back to Godhead. Now we are chanting, our sinful activities are going down, but other people who are committing the sinful activities, their activities is increasing and it's adding the consequence on us also. So how do we understand that within this paradigm where on one side we are reducing our sins as well as the sinful tendencies, but we are still impacted by others? So, how these two things go hand in hand and still, we are able to make back home back to Godhead.
Yes. Tattenu kampam susamikshmano bhunjana yavatma kritam vipakam hridavak vapurbhir vidadhan namaste jivatayo mukti sapadedaya bhak. That yes, we suffer because of our own sins, which are so many. And we also suffer because we are living in a society and the members of society are committing sins. So because we are part of that team, we also have to get a reaction. So, but a devotee is never worried about the sufferings of this material world, because Srila Prabhupada writes in one of his purports that a devotee is always expecting disasters. A devotee is always expecting problems in this material world, because problems will be there. This is Dukkhalaya. This is a Dukkhalaya. It's a place of sorrow and misery. So devotee is always expecting that there will be troubles. Now, because we are expecting, a devotee is not so much disturbed. If you are going somewhere and I tell you, Prabhuji, rasta bahut kharab hai, thoda sambhal ke, slow chalana, bahut speed breakers hai, rasta kharab hai. So you are expecting that it's going to be a bumpy ride. So you are not shocked. You are not surprised, because your expectations are set. When a devotee reads Bhagavad Gita and he reads, Are, anityam asukham lokam, to asukham lok hai, koi sukhi nahi hai is world mein. And then we read Bhagavatam and we see Yudhishthira Maharaj suffering, Arjun suffering, Draupadi Devi suffering, Prahlad Maharaj suffering, Dhruv Maharaj suffering. When we see all this, gopis are crying, we realize that this is Dukkhalaya. This is a Dukkhalaya. So when we read, when we see, when we hear these stories, and we see our acharyas also, Srila Prabhupada went through so much, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur went through so much, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur went through so much. So then we are always expecting that yes, in this material world there is always be suffering. But a devotee, because the devotee is engaged in Krishna conscious activities, engaged in devotional service, a devotee knows that these sufferings in this material world that I have to endure, they are good for me, because they keep me serious in my Krishna consciousness. If there is too much comfort and luxury, I may become complacent. When Hanumanji was going to rescue or to find Srimati Sita Devi, the Mainak mountain came as a resting place and said, you take rest. You must be tired. You have a long journey. Udhar bahut yuddha hoga Lanka mein. Thoda aaram kar lo, vishram kar lo. Hanumanji says no. Mainak Parvat says why? Hanumanji says because Ram is crying. Ram is crying for last 4 months, Chaturmas, in separation from Sita Devi. He is crying, how I can sit and take a rest when my Lord is crying? No, I must find Sita Devi and immediately report to Lord Ram. Only after bringing a smile to his face, I will rest. So therefore, in this material world, there will be opportunities for us to take rest, to take it easy. Itna bhakti mat karo, thoda enjoy bhi karo. So all these philosophies are there to distract us, deviate us. But sufferings are there. When a devotee sees sufferings, a devotee wakes up. When the airplane crashed in Nepal, in I think 2011, 9 devotees died. The realization of the brahmacharis of Radha Gopinath Mandir was that we had become very complacent. And now that suddenly we have lost 9 devotees, the brahmacharis are saying that even if one of these 9 devotees had died, we would have cried so much. And in one moment, we have lost 9 devotees. So many memories, so much pain in the heart. So they said we had become very complacent in our bhakti, but now seeing this sudden death of 9 devotees, we have been shaken. So when a devotee sees sufferings in this world, it makes a devotee more alert and free from complacency. And when we practice Krishna consciousness in that mood, while suffering, these sufferings that come our way naturally, like Prahlad Maharaj says, happiness will come on its own and suffering will also come on its own without special endeavor. It will come. जो प्रारब्ध में है वो होगा, जो विधाता ने लिखा है वो होगा. कौन काहू के निज सुख दुख कर दाता, निज कृत कर्म भोग सब भ्राता. We have to suffer in this world. Avashyam bhuktavyam karma krita shubhashubham. But when we suffer these things silently, tolerating them, tam stithishva bharata. Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says that dehi nosmin yatha dehe kaumaram yovanam jara tatha dehantara praptis dhiras tatra na muhyati Arjun. Don't be bewildered. But Arjun says, but I love the body of Bhishma Dev. I have sat on his lap. He has embraced me. He has given me so much love. I am attached to Dronacharya. I am attached to Bhishma Dev. How can you say Dhiras Tatra na muhyati? How can you say that? Then immediately next verse in Bhagavad Gita is Matra Sparashastu Kaunteya Shitoshna Sukha Dukkha Agama Payunattam Tidashiva Bharata. Okay, if you are attached, then you will experience sorrow. Titikshasva. Just tolerate it. What can be done? So we have attachments in this world. We have attachments for our comfort, our sense gratification. And as a result, we are going to face inconveniences and we are going to suffer in this world. We have to simply tolerate it. Atma kritam vipakam. Considering it that we are only responsible. Individually and collectively, we are responsible. So I will suffer it out. Whatever is happening, I will tolerate it. But while doing that, Ridavak Vapurbhir Vidadhan Namaste. With my body, mind, and words, Karmana Manasa Vacha, I will serve Krishna. And if we do that, then Aham Hare Tava Padaika Mula Dasa Anudaso Bhavitasmi Bhuya. We will get Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Dasa Ranudas, Seva Abhilasha Kore Narottama Das. We will get Seva of Radha and Krishna end of this life. Daya Bhakti. It will become our rightful inheritance. While suffering, if we continue with our devotional service, with Utsahat Nishchayat Dhairyat, enthusiasm, determination, and patience, we have to just do it. And 100% it is Krishna's promise. Manmana Bhavamad Bhakto Madhyaji Mam Namaskuru Mam Evash Satyam Te. Krishna said, please have faith. You will definitely come back to me in this lifetime. So we have to tolerate it. It will come, but there is no loss. A devotee is not attached to comforts or sukh. This duality, there will be sukh, there will be dukkha. We have to tolerate it. And if we practice Krishna consciousness, then Krishna will take us. Teshamaham samudharta mrityu samsara sagarat bhavami achirat partha maya avashita chetas. If we are completely focused on Krishna, then Krishna is that swift deliverer from Bhavasagar for all of us. Take it, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Faith in Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Amrit Karan, Prabhu.
Please accept my humble wishes. Actually, in Bhagavad Gita 7.28, it's mentioned, Jasam tuntugatum papam janam punna karmanam dannam mohonirmukta bhajante mam dhirata. So, whose actually sinful action is completely eradicated. They are themselves getting like determines in service, they are getting determination. So it's like we are not involved in the like sinful activities, but indirectly we are like involving like. So for that reason, we are not get the purities or something happening like that. So this atmosphere is so polluted, or devotees are like chanting and Prabhupada told him to maintain 4 equality principle, then still they have to suffer. and by sinful reaction.
Whatever
Isn't it?
suffering a devotee gets, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, whatever suffering a devotee gets, it is ordained by Krishna. This is a fact. A devotee will never suffer unless Krishna authorizes it. Correct?
Mhm.
Krishna is the supreme controller. He is always in control.
Mhm.
Therefore, whatever suffering comes our way, we know that it is approved by our Ishtadev. Our beloved Krishna, our beloved Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has approved this for me. I need this. I need this for my purification.
For purification.
I need it for my purification. This is a fact, and we accept it. Nothing comes to us without being allowed by Krishna, because Krishna is the Ishvara Parama Krishna, is always in control. Supreme controller is Krishna, Ishvara Parama Krishna. So as a devotee of Krishna, we should always think that whatever has come in my life, whether I get a cancer, whether I get a heart attack, whether I get a stroke, it cannot come to me unless it is approved by Krishna. So this is a special treatment that the Param Vaidya, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, has approved for me. Kaviraj Goswami calls Mahaprabhu as Vaidya in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So my Vaidya is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has ordained this for me, has approved this for me, has prescribed this for me. See, a doctor prescribes medicine. Sometimes the medicine is sweet, sugar-coated. Sometimes the medicine is bitter. Correct?
Yeah, exactly.
Patient cannot say, why you are giving me bitter medicine? Always give sweet medicine only. No, sometimes the medicine will be bitter. It depends what a patient needs. So whatever medicine has been prescribed to us by our Vaidya, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we accept it. I need this. I need to take this medicine. This will cure me. And while we are suffering, we remember Krishna. We chant Krishna Nam. We serve the devotees. We think of Krishna. Samashritaya padapallava plavam mahat padam punya yasho murare bhavam. What is that? Bhavam budhir vatsapadam param padam vipadam. So like
wonderful, wonderful. You
that.
set a nice example.
Huh?
Thank you. Wonderful example.
And we should
medicine given by doctor, prescribed by doctor, maybe bitter, but for our recovery.
Now the question is, now please listen carefully. The question is, so why only somebody is getting cancer? Why somebody is getting divorce? Why somebody is getting depression? Why somebody is getting diabetes? Why somebody is getting heart attack? Why this person is not getting anything? Why this person is living 90 years healthy? No medicine.
No medicine.
It is because the doctor will give different medicines to different patients depending on their diagnosis. Somebody may get chemotherapy prescription because they have cancer. Someone will get aspirin because they have a heart problem. Someone will get a prescription for physical therapy because they are suffering from stroke. Someone will get antibiotic because they have pneumonia, infection in their lung. So different patients get different treatments. Now, when a doctor is sitting in the OPD, sitting in the clinic, they may see 20, 25 patients. All patients will get different prescriptions, correct? Is it that every patient gets the same prescription? No, never.
No way.
Everybody gets different prescription depending on what they need. So our Chikitsak, our doctor, Vaidya is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he will see what disease we have, what our situation is. Accordingly, he will give different prescription to different devotees. And what we get, that is perfect for us. That is exactly what we need at that time. We should have this faith and we should accept it happily. We should not compare. Show me your prescription, what you got. I got this. You got that. Patients don't go outside and they compare their prescription.
No way.
So everybody has their own prarabdha. Everybody has their own conditionings, their anarthas, their situation, social situation, spiritual situation. And accordingly, perfect treatment is given. And we should simply accept it, tolerate it, like daldal, quicksand. You know quicksand, daldal?
Quicksand, yeah, daldal.
The more you fight, the faster you sink.
Yes. Yeah.
But if you just become flat and you remain like that, then you'll slowly come to the surface. And then you just need Bhakti Rajjum. Somebody throw the rope of bhakti and pull you out. But first you have to stop fighting prarabdha. The more you fight, the deeper you sink. You become flat, horizontal, your surface area, body surface area increases, and because of the density of the quicksand, you come up. But you go vertical and you start fighting with your hands and legs,
Then you go down.
you go down. So we are in a quicksand in this material world. We have to stop fighting prarabdha. काहू केवल भजन को, काहू के आचार, व्यास भरोसे कुंवरी को, सोवत पाव पसार, सोवत पाव पसार, पैर पसार के सोना है बस, भगवान आप देख लो, शरणागति, 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 चलो भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर, शरणागति, बस कृष्णा, यूज से, मारो भी राखो भी जो इच्छा तो हार, नित्य दास प्रति तू आदि। That is our philosophy. Okay, Prabhu?
Thank you so much. Wonderful.
That's awesome. Last question, Divya Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Papaji.
Hare
I heard, like, I think past 2-3 days back that Hare Krishna Mahamantra is supposed to be the most powerful. So I was wondering, in time of crisis or illness or danger, why do we take Narasimha Dev's name? I mean, isn't chanting Hare Krishna enough? That is one question.
One second, Mataji, my brain is very slow, very weak. I cannot remember. So I'll answer one question at a time. Yes. Chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra is completely self-sufficient. There is no need to chant Narasimha Prayers. There is no need to chant any other prayer. Just Guru Mantra, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadādhara, Śrīvas Ādi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Other than these three, Guru, Gauranga, Krishna Mantra, no need to chant anything ever. But why do we chant Narasimha Prayers? Srila Prabhupada instituted Narasimha Prayers. We can look at it from multiple angles. One is, Krishna gets pleasure to protect the devotees in his Narasimha avatar. That avatar of Sri Narasimha Dev is a specific form of Krishna. It is Krishna Kesha only. Brajendra Nandan Krishna Kesha. Keshava Dhrita Narahari Rupa. Jai Jagadisha Hare. It is Krishna who has taken the form of Narasimha Dev. It's a special form to give protection to the devotees. So Krishna gets pleasure when he gets a chance to protect his devotees in his Narasimha form. To facilitate the pleasure, because Krishna is happy when he gets to protect his devotees as Sri Narasimha Dev. Therefore, devotees pray to Sri Narasimha Dev, knowing that he is our Krishna only. But Krishna is Ras Bihari. He is having Ras Lila with Krishna. He is having Ras Lila with Srimati Radharani. He is having pastimes at Radha Kund. His Ashtakali Lila is going on. Why disturb Brajendranandan Krishna? But that Brajendranandan Krishna only has appeared as Narasimha Dev for the specific purpose. Officer on special duty. OSD, officer on special duty. He just wants to gets pleasure by protecting his devotee. That is his Leela, Narasimha Dev. So to facilitate that, we pray to Krishna in the form of Narasimha Dev. When the Sankirtan movement was attacked by Chand Kazi in Sri Navadvip Dham, Narasimha Dev came. He's called Gaura Narasimha Dev. He's Gauranga Mahaprabhu only, but came as Narasimha Dev. In the dream of Chand Kazi, sat on his chest and clawed at him. Said, rascal, if you stop the Sankirtan movement, I will rip open your chest and I will kill all your family members also. Because this is Narasimha Dev gets pleasure. Viryaras. He likes to fight with the Vidharmis. So to facilitate that. Therefore, in Sridham Mayapur also, when the Vidharmis were attacking, Sri Narasimha Dev came. Ugra Narasimha Dev. And since then, the devotees have been protected. It is Leela of Krishna. Krishna likes to take the form of Narasimha Dev to protect his devotees. So to facilitate that, we do it. But we know he's Krishna only. So there is no nishtha bhang nahi hoti hai hamari Narasimha Dev ki upasana karne se. So every day we do Narasimha Aarti. Morning, evening we do Narasimha Aarti. We know he's Keshava Dhrita Narahari Rupa. He's our Keshav only. He's Shiki Pichamali, peacock feather holding Krishna only. Flute holding Krishna, who has taken the special form. to protect the devotees. And we facilitate that. Is that okay, Divya Mataji?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. So when we are in crisis, should we say Hare Krishna or should we say Narasimha mantra?
It depends on your bhav. It depends on your bhav. Both are fine. Srila Prabhupada told us that you can pray to Sri Narasimha Dev for protection. And all our acharyas have done that. So we can do that also. In the Antya Leela of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself chanted the Narasimha prayers. These prayers that we chant, Namaste Narasimhaya Prahlada Halada Daine. You know the reference for these prayers? It is Antya Leela of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he would take darshan of Jagannath, outside Jagannath temple, there is a deity of Sri Narasimha Dev. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would offer obeisances and recite these prayers over there. The prayers are from Sri Narasimha Puran, but they were chanted by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So our Ishtadev, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Radha and Krishna in one form, has given us the Narasimha Arti, which Srila Prabhupada has given us. Srila Jayadeva Goswami wrote the most Rasik literature, Git Govind. And in the beginning of Git Govind, this Dashavatar Stotra is there. Before entering the mysteries of Git Govind, Dashavatar Stotra. So the greatest Rasik Vaishnavas have given us Narasimha prayers to pray for protection. So it is perfect to pray to Lord Narasimha Dev. But if someone is completely one-pointed and does not want to look anywhere other than any form of Krishna other than Shyam Sundar Krishna and only wants to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra for everything, that is also perfect. That is also perfect. So there is no problem. Both the moods are okay. You know Goswami Tulsidas ji and Surdas ji. Goswami Tulsidas ji is a pure devotee of Sri Ramachandra and Sri Surdas ji is a pure devotee of Sri Krishna in the Pushti Marg. Sri Goswami Tulsidas ji is in the Ramanandi Sampradaya, in the Sripad Ramanujacharya Sampradaya. Both are pure devotees and they met in Vrindavan and they were doing Govardhan Parikrama together. And somehow a mad elephant attacked them. True story. Both were friends, Goswami Tulsidas ji and Surdas ji. Surdas ji was physically, could not see. So although he was physically blind, as soon as people screamed, "Oh, mad elephant is coming, mad elephant is coming," Surdas ji, he scampered to the nearest tree and somehow climbed on that tree for protection. And Goswami Tulsidas ji, he did not move even an inch. Like Ambarish Maharaj, he was completely fearless. He just prayed. Bhuta Pishacha Nikata Nahi Aave Mahavir Jo Nama Sunare. He was not at all afraid. Jai Siya Ram. He just chanted the names of Sita Ram. And he was completely fearless. He knew that he's got the complete protection. Abhayam Sarvada Tasme Dadami Etadvratam. Completely fearless, taking shelter of Lord Ramchandra. And Goswami and our Surdas ji is climbing on a tree trying to protect himself. But then the elephant goes away. Hearing the prayers of both the devotees, the elephant goes away. After the elephant has gone, mad elephant has gone away, then Surdas ji slowly climbs down from the tree and both the friends are again holding hands and they continue their Govardhan Parikrama. So then Goswami Tulsidas ji asks Surdas ji that, why did you run away when the elephant came and climbed up a tree? And Surdas ji asks Goswami Tulsidas ji, and why did you not run? So Goswami Tulsidas ji replies that I was fearless. I am completely assured about the protection of Shri Ram. But why did you run? So Surdas ji said that I ran because my Shyam Sundar is having his Ashtakali Leela with Srimati Radharani. And I didn't want to disturb him from his Leela to come for my protection. So why should I disturb Krishna? So therefore I had to take care of my own protection. So both the bhav are perfect. Goswami Tulsidas' bhav is also perfect, completely Sharanagat, that Krishna will, Avashya Rakshibe Krishna, my Lord will always protect me. That is also perfect. Rakshishati iti Vishwaso, perfect. And Surdasji's bhav is also very sweet. That if I have to die, let me die, but why should I disturb my Lord? So therefore, like that. So both the bhavs are perfect. You can worship Lord Narasimha, you can just chant Hare Krishna, no problem. As long as we are sheltered at the lotus feet of Krishna. Bhajahu Remana Shri Nandanandana Bhaya Charana Aravindare. Narasimha also is Nandanandan Krishna only in a special form that we should remember. Okay. Yes, Ramshan Prabhuji.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Similarly, Prabhuji, I was just wondering, in our Nitya Bhagavat Sevaya morning time, we are doing Dhritarashtra, 13th chapter, first canto, 13th chapter. So there, it is quoted there like why Dhritarashtra was blind and why his 100 sons were dead. So there is a reference, they are giving the reference not reference in the preaching, like he shot the arrow of the fire, there are 100 birds, 100, the
Yes.
birds were there. So I was preparing for the class, and I found many places this is given. I was looking for the reference in the Mahabharata somewhere, is that given or in any other Puran. I was not able to find, so. Is there anywhere reference given for this?
I have heard that story that Dhritarashtra in the previous life was a hunter, and I have heard that story but I don't know the reference. I have heard it, but I don't know which Shastra it is from, or even if it is from any Shastra. I don't know that.
Yeah,
I've heard that story, yes.
Yeah, so for me also, I was looking for the reference before quoting this. So, that's what I thought of, like here also, the same kind of discussion going on, sir.
Yeah, it is better what Kirtana Sundari Mataji is saying. That is very true. It is best that we speak what we are sure about from the Shastra. This story I have heard actually twice from very senior devotees. So that's why I quoted. But I thought that they were contemporaries, Goswami Tulsidas ji and Surdas ji. But yeah, it is best to quote stories which are pramanik, which we are sure about.
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhu.
So one question is there from one Mataji, Hare Krishna, all sufferings are approved by Krishna, but is it approved by Radharani also, because she is very soft-hearted? Hare Krishna. So actually in Tattva, there is no difference between Radha and Krishna. Radha Krishna Eka Atma, Dui Dehadhari, Anyonne Vilasa Rasya Asvadanatari. So in Tattva, there is no difference between Radha and Krishna. But Radharani is the most merciful aspect of the Supreme Lord. She is the feminine aspect of the Supreme Lord. And she is the Ashraya Vigraha. She is the Ashraya of all Bhakti. Whereas Krishna is the object of our Seva. He is the Vishaya Vigraha. That is the only difference. So yes, ultimately nothing can happen without the approval of Radha and Krishna. But Radharani, specifically, she is the giver of Bhakti. And all the sufferings that we get in this material world, they make us more likely, more receptive to following the path of Bhakti. But yes, to answer your questions, definitely, nothing can happen without Srimati Radharani's approval. So like that, we can understand. I hope this answers. And then last question, Amrit Gaurangi Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranams.
Hare
Prabhu,
Krishna.
when I heard you saying about Karunadaka Sai Vishnu is releasing unlimited souls from time to time, that was little disappointing and concerning. So is it possible for Krishna to reset everything and make all of us go back at least one time, or will it happen? Because we are told to take it easy when devotees perform or when we see wrongs done by others. So we should take it easy and not find mistakes, and we should rise beyond those. Can Krishna be like that with us, take it easy and reset everything for us? This is a very silly and basic question.
No, it is not a silly question. This question actually is asked in Jaiva Dharma. And Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur answers this. in a way that is inconceivable. I will try to repeat, but some of you may like this answer, some of you may not like it, but I found it very sweet. So this exact same question what you asked was asked in Jaiva Dharma. And Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur Mahashaya, he answers by saying that if that were to happen, if everyone goes to Vaikuntha, then how will Krishna show his Karunya Leela, his merciful Leela? Because this merciful Leela of Krishna coming and saving the conditioned soul, being Karunamaya, being merciful, is one of the qualities of Krishna. And to facilitate that, eternally some jivas are in forgetfulness of Krishna. And for them, this whole material world is created. And then Krishna comes, and Krishna is Leelamaya. He's the reservoir of all Leelas. He likes to do this Leela, and one of his Leela is his Leela of showing his compassion, Karunya, upon the Jivas. So to show that Karuna Leela, Krishna comes in this material world, and for that he needs conditioned souls. So there will always be conditioned souls, because Krishna has to show his merciful Leela. Otherwise, there is no Guru Tattva. Imagine, there is no Guru Tattva if there are no conditioned souls. So therefore, Jaiva Dharma says, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that this material world is also eternal. The 5 things that are described in Bhagavad Gita: Bhagwan, eternal; Jiva, eternal; this Prakriti, material world, eternal; Kal, eternal; time is eternal. Only karma is temporary. It can be destroyed. Karma can be destroyed. So yeah, this material world is eternal, and there will always be jivas, so that Krishna can perform his Karuna Leela, his merciful pastimes. And Guru Tattva also is there to show their mercy upon the conditioned souls. So Krishna is unlimited. There are unlimited jivas. Most of them are Nitya Siddha. They never leave Krishna. But some jivas, by constitution, they have, from the beginning, they have been Nitya Baddha. They are under the shelter of the external energy of Krishna, which is also eternal energy, external energy. And to rescue them requires karuna, compassion. And that takes place in the material world. So it will always be there. Hare Krishna. This is what Jaiva Dharma says. Is that okay, Mataji?
It's okay, but again, so for Krishna's expression of mercy, is he bringing conditioned souls down, or is he preventing conditioned souls from going up?
Jaiva Dharma says that it is the fault of the jiva that we turned away from Krishna. It is not Krishna's fault. It is clearly said. It is the misuse of the independence. Srila Prabhupada also says this. It is the misuse of the independence of the jiva. Some jivas are like that. Like in the kingdom also, in a country, some citizens are law-abiding. Some citizens break the laws. Why they break? It is their free will that they break the laws. So like that. Some jivas have turned away from Krishna from the beginning by misuse of their independence. And some jivas are always serving Krishna. So it is not Krishna's fault. That is for sure. It is the fault of the jiva by the misuse of independence. This is Srila Prabhupada says, and this is there in Jaiva Dharma also.
So can we know which type of jiva we are, Prabhu, then?
Oh, we are Nitya Baddha, for sure.
Nitya Baddha meaning we can never
So
go back?
there are 2 types of jivas. There are jivas that originate in the spiritual world. They come from Balramji, or they come from Mula Sankarshan. The Nitya Siddha, eternal liberated jivas who are in Vaikuntha planets with Narayan and Lakshmi Devi, they come from Mula Sankarshan. The jivas that are in Golok Vrindavan, they come from Balramji, who is the Guru Tattva. From Balramji's expansion, the Vibhinna Amsha jivas, they come from Balramji. These are all Nitya Siddhas. They never come to the material world. Only rarely when Krishna tells them, they come as acharyas. Otherwise, they are always eternal in the spiritual world. They have never forgotten Krishna. The second category of the Tatastha Shakti, the Jiva Shakti, is the Nitya Baddha Jivas. They don't come from Mula Sankarshan in Vaikuntha. They don't come from Balramji in Golok Vrindavan. They originate from Karanodaksha Vishnu. This is all mentioned in Jivadharma. They come from Karanodaksha Vishnu, and we have all come from Karanodaksha Vishnu because we are in the material world. So we are Nitya Baddhas. Those are Nitya Siddhas. Nitya Siddhas are of two types. There are Aishwarya Gat Nitya Siddhas who are in the Aishwarya Bhav. They come from Mul Sankarshan. And there are Madhurya Gat Nitya Siddhas who are in the Vraj Bhav, and they come from Balramji. They are always in Golok Vrindavan. So Madhurya Gat Nitya Siddhas, Aishwarya Gat Nitya Siddhas, and there are Nitya Baddhas. Now Nitya Baddhas, depending on which guru they find. If they find a guru who is Aishwarya Gat, the Nitya Baddha will become a Baddha Mukta Jiva and go to Vaikuntha. If a Nitya Baddha Jiva finds a Acharya like Srila Prabhupada, who is coming from Golok Vrindavan and gets Vraj Bhakti, then this Nitya Baddha becomes a Baddha Mukta Jiv who is Madhurya Gat and goes to Golok Vrindavan. So Baddha Jivas are also of two types who get Mukti. Either Aishwarya Gat Baddha Mukta or Madhurya Gat Baddha Mukta, depending on where they go, Vaikuntha or Golok Vrindavan. So we are Nitya Baddhas. Now the question is whether we become Baddha Mukta or not. And our whole sadhana is for that, so that we become Mukta.
And once we become Mukta, we will not be labeled as Baddha Mukta or Nitya, whatever, right? Will we be?
So once we go to the spiritual world, then the Nitya Shabda, Nitya Baddha, that Nitya refers to the past.
Okay.
Yeah. So once we become Mukta, then we are Mukta. We never come back to this material world. Nobody falls down from Vaikuntha, and we will be never called Baddha Jivas again. We are liberated, and but we are always under the guidance of the Nitya Siddhas. So it's not that after going to Golok Vrindavan, we can become superior to the Nitya Siddhas. We are always under the guidance of the Nitya Siddhas. Nitya Siddhas like Lalita Sakhi, Vishakha Sakhi, Rupa Manjari, they are always under their guidance, their protection, their shelter. But we are liberated. No more coming to this material world again.
Got it, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. One last question, Dilip Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank Pranam all Krishna, Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev. Prabhuji, just quick question as Mataji asked it. As my little understanding, Prabhuji, means Jivatmas are unlimited. It is means as a understanding as like we say that demigods are Amar. They are not Amar. They have some certain limit. Means because they are longer period, that's the thing we say that Amar, but they are not Amar. Similarly, is Jivatmas are countless, but there is certain count, right? Because they are eternal. Means they don't born every day. Means they cannot create it every day from Kakan. They are there. It is in the Lord's body. They are coming to this Bhuloka or material world whenever their time comes. Is it this is true? So then I can go to the next, or if it is not.
See, Krishna is Ananta. Krishna is unlimited, Asankhya. And Krishna is Aprameya. One of the names of Krishna, Aprameya. Aprameya means we cannot limit Krishna by numbers, cannot measure, cannot count Krishna. Now, how many Jivas are there? I don't know. But our Shastra says that it is Asankhya. Asankhya means innumerable. Prabhupada also writes innumerable Jivas. So innumerable means there is no number. If there is a number, then it would say like 8.4 million species as a number. But for the Jivas, Prabhupada says and the Shastra says Asankhya, innumerable. So innumerable means we have to consider that Krishna is unlimited and the expansions of his Vibhinna Amsha, Jivas also is unlimited. We cannot say that there is this number of Jivas only. It is Asankhya. Innumerable. There is no limit. We cannot put a limit to Krishna's Shakti. This is Tatastha Shakti of Krishna. Jivas are Tatastha Shakti, marginal energy. There is no limit. So You can go ahead.
Yeah, means it is countless.
Countless.
Understanding is countless. That's how it is a
Yes,
countless.
yes.
Next means they are not bonding every time. They are not created every time, but they are there unlimited eternally. Means,
Yes. Na jayate mriyate va kadachan. The Jiva is never created.
Yeah.
It's always there.
But
just like Krishna is eternal, the Jiva is also eternal.
Eternal.
Beyond
Means,
time.
Yeah, it may be countless of millions of years. Everybody has to go back to the Lord's place.
Yes.
It may be unlimited. Maybe but everybody has to go. Everybody has to go. Then everybody will go. And they will not come back again.
Correct.
Means certain time will be there, which will not have a Jivatmas, which will be in the material world.
Because
maybe our limited understanding, my maybe, as like we say that Amar, in our for long millions of years, we may not see that happening. Means many is also, you can, it is that's the right understanding. Is our Acharya saying that it is a countless of I don't know, manmantaras or whatever it is not possible.
Because such a sincere devotee as you have said this, maybe Krishna will
Hare
make
Krishna.
it
No.
Just like Mahaprabhu told Vasudev Datta that because you have said that all the Jivas should go back to Vaikuntha, it will certainly happen. So yes, a Vaishnava always wants everyone to go back to Godhead, and Amrit Gaurangi Mataji's mood, your mood, is perfectly in line with that. It's very good. I also want everyone to go back to Godhead. But I'm just saying what our Acharyas and the Shastra has said. Prabhupada says that this material world is eternal. And so material world is eternal means there will be Jivas here. And Jaiva Dharma also says like that, as far as I have read. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thanks.
Okay. Hare Krishna. But we certainly hope that everyone goes back to Krishna
Yes, Prabhuji.
and never comes in this material world of suffering.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Okay, dear devotees, we'll stop here. Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Nitai Gaur Premanandi Hari Hari.
Hari Hari.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dhanyavad.
Krishna, thank you, Prabhu.